How are you, my people? How are you? I'm still here doing the videos in bits, because if I did one video it would be so long. It would be like so long. It would be the longest video, and I didn't want to rush this video because people requested, the new people in the family requested. We are hanging, we are floating. We can't understand what you are referring to when you say about these girls. So I didn't want to do a video that's hurried up or a video that is rushed. I just wanted to sit here, tell you the story, so that as you become part of our family, at least you know what kind of a family we are. My name is Gladys. As I said in the first video, I am a single mother of a teenage girl who is in high school, and I'm also a foster mother of 3 beautiful girls that I rescued from Korogocho slums, being sexually molested by the father. But now today, I live with them in my house. So part 2 ended where we had said that now it is clear, it is communicated by the woman of God, Bishop Jane Kingori, that now these girls are not going to any children's home. God intends them to live in our home. Where does that leave me? Will I accept it right away? No. You know, I'm still a human being like you. I'm having the human being doubts. I'm like, oh, did Bishop Jane hear clearly? I'm hoping, will Bishop Jane call me in the evening and tell me, by the way, what I told you, I've changed my mind. I can come tomorrow and we take the kids to a children's home. You know, those things you think and you wish, you know. But it was clear. It's like Bishop Jane was triple sure of what she said. And I got into a place of prayer. And I told God, please, God, you see the way I'm feeling overwhelmed. If it is you who has said that these kids are staying, give me peace. The way I'm feeling anxious because I'm losing friends. You know, my circles of friends, now we are not having things in common to discuss because now I'm into another lifestyle. I'm trying to cope up. So, you know, if it's friends that maybe you decide today is a girls' day out, me, if they call me, can we go for girls' coffee out? And I'm like, do I need to go for girls' coffee day out, or do I need to stay here, take care of my babies, and even buy food with that money? So I lost quite a good number of friends, and I had to start life afresh again and get new friends on board. But I thank God. So I told God, the way I'm feeling over anxious because I'm losing friends, help me to take a deep breath and help me to cool down and to relax about it. And I thank God. God was really so faithful. So I decided that's okay and that's fine. I have to agree with God. These girls are going nowhere, and start now getting myself ready to be a mother of 4. Remember, I thank God for how he designed things. You see, this period of 9 months that a woman carries the babies, it's a very important period, because in the 9 months, psychologically and in your whole system, you get prepared that you gonna receive a baby, a new member in the family, an addition in the family in 9 months. So you are well prepared. You're well prepared. But now for me, it happened instant like this. Not even just a mother of another one, additional one. A mother of 1, 2, 3 more into the house. Single-handedly like this. So for me to digest that, to transition from being a mother of 1 to being a mother of 4, being able now to expand my thinking and my way of doing things, you know, the things that were hard for me. And I said in this video, I'm going to get very up close and candid with you. Number 1, I was saying, I'm used to when I go to the supermarket or when I go to buy shoes or whatever I'm buying for my daughter, I buy 1 set. So now I'm getting to a shop, even if it's just in the supermarket, I need to pick snacks. I do times 4. I go to buy shoes, I need to do times 4. I need to buy a bucket of biscuit, I need to do times 4. You know, a packet of yogurt times 4. You know, I was like, how do you become a mother of so many? It was very overwhelming. Then let me tell you something, guys. You see, I've been a single mother of one girl for all those years. So this time round, my daughter is now sitting for her primary school exam so that she can go to high school. So in my mind as a human being, I'm saying, for the 14 years I've been a single mom, I've tried really to put my best foot forward. Like you don't want to allow men to come to your house because you don't want to show your daughter some kind of things, you know. You are putting restrictions on who can visit your home, who cannot visit your home. When you go out there, you are even turning down the dinner offers because you don't want to come home late, and then your child will wonder, where are you coming from this late? You know, like, a single mother's life is full of sacrifices. You make a lot of sacrifices because you want to paint the right picture to your child, you know. So in my mind as a human being, I'm saying, my daughter is now going to high school. She'll be in boarding school, so I can go for coffee dates in the evening. I can go for dinner dates in the evening. You know, if a friend says, I'm just passing by your home, can I come and say hello? I can say, yeah, come and say hello, because I'm all alone in the house. And I was really anticipating and looking forward to this freedom. Wow, I had even started planning. I'll be cooking food for several days. I put in the fridge so that I don't cook every day because I'm alone. I'll be calling somebody to come and clean the house once in a week. You know, I had started getting prepared in my mind how I'll be staying alone when my daughter is in boarding in high school. And then here God comes and disrupts my plans like he doesn't care, and gives me 3 kids. And one, I'm starting from the point of diapers. And I'm like, God, you're not fair on this. God, you're not fair on this. I was looking forward to where I'll be living in this house all alone. You know, if I feel like cooking, I cook. If I don't feel like cooking, I don't feel like cooking. I do, you know, freedom is all in my hands. I do what I want until my daughter closes school for holiday, you know. And then, God, you bring me 3 more kids, and one even is in diaper. God, are you like serious? God, are you like really fair with me? You know, God, do you still love me? God, is that how you are showing me your love? And it was a crazy time for me, even now, to start now thinking all the plans I've had for 14 years that I've been with my daughter. Those plans accommodate only me and my daughter. You know, everybody has got their vision, their dreams, their plans, personal plans, including you, your family, and whoever else is in your life. So for me, for 14 years, my dreams, my vision, my planning, everything was including my one girl. Here we are plus 3 girls. So going back to the drawing board, to undo these personal plans, to redo them to accommodate the 3 girls, that transitioning was not easy. It was not easy. It was a tough one. It was a tough one. It was a tough one. Family members are also not understanding me. They're like, really? Really? Will you make it? Will you make it? 3 more kids? Will you make it? There are those who are wishing me well. There are those who are supporting me and telling me, if it's God's will, God will be the provider. So we started living with the girls. Now I have started accepting. I'm also now, even in my mind as a human being, I'm thinking, you know, I was thinking when my daughter goes to boarding school, I'll have even time to date, time to go out, time to be invited for dinners, and I show up now. And maybe in those dinners, in those coffee dates, who knows, could be I would meet my Mr. Right and we get married, because now this Mr. Right will feel like the burden is lighter. My daughter is big and in boarding school and not always at home, so he will feel like things are a bit lighter and better, and be able to take me and my daughter and we start a home, because I'm a single mom not by choice. Me, I love family life. I love I admire family life. I admire the married couples. I just love the beauty of being in a home whereby it's husband, wife, and kids. And I just love marriage is beautiful. Even if my previous one failed, I never lost hope in marriage. So I was feeling like when my daughter goes to boarding school, this I'll be gifting myself with another chance to love again, and I'm loving objectively to get married. So I'm thinking, whoo, now I'm a mother of 4. So even if I go for a coffee date or dinner date, how do I even start telling somebody I'm a mother of 4? How will they even think of even marriage with me, you know? So those were things that were disturbing my mind, among many more. But anyway, as I was struggling with myself, I would put myself behind and put the girls in front. I would know that this girl, especially the one who was the victim, really needed some counseling. So I went out to get some counseling sessions for her, and I would take her for counseling, and they were very helpful for her. Very helpful for her, because these girls, and actually I would go with all of them during those counseling sessions, because these girls came in so timid, so fearful. They were just not open to the world. They were just in another cocoon, that they were behaving funny. Like, I remember when they came, the counselor told me that they are battling the fear of abandonment, because anytime I would leave them from the sitting room to go to the kitchen, they would follow me. Even if I go to the washroom, they would follow me to the washroom and wait me at the door until I finish and come out. Then I'm like, why can't you wait for me in the sitting room? Why are you standing here in the washroom door waiting for me? And then the counselor told me these girls are battling the fear of abandonment. They think when you get into the washroom, maybe that washroom has got another through door the other side, and you might go and they may never see you again, because they have those fears that their mother just left and went and they have never seen her again. So with time, when you stay with them, they will now be able to outgrow the fear of abandonment and now be with you and behave like normal kids. And today, that's what has been happening. Now that fear of abandonment, even if not too, they're not completely out of it, but I can say 80% of it, they are out of it. Because there's a time I had to go to the village. We had burial for one of my relatives, and then I couldn't travel with them because it was during the school days. I remember I called and I talked to the big one, and I told her, me, I have traveled, and she cried. I was saying, no, mommy, please come back. Mommy, we need you in the house. Mommy, please come back. So they're still fighting that fear of abandonment, although right now it's a little better off. Another thing that was really weird, when they came, you see, they are 8 years, 5 years, and 3 years. They would all of them pee on bed. All of them would pee on bed. So you wake up in the morning, the mattress is wet. Like, you can squeeze it like this and water comes out. You know, the beddings are wet. Everything is wet. It was a rainy season. There is no sun to dry them. So in the evening, it would be another hectic moment. The girls are sleeping in my daughter's room. My daughter is a teenager. The room is always smelling urine. And you know, teenagers, they love neatness and keeping things in order, especially girls. So it was tough. And then now I shared it with a friend, and then a friend of mine told me, if you see kids peeing on bed past the age they should pee in bed, means those kids are psychologically traumatized. But the minute the trauma will go out, that peeing in bed will end. And trust you me, it ended. And I want to appreciate a couple that I love so much, Mr. and Mrs. Ngugi. They are my friends, and they are my daughter's mentor. That couple are the ones who came, we talked, and I told them the way we are in a mess at night, the beddings are still wet and we don't have extra set of beddings. They brought me a new mattress. So today would put this mattress, tomorrow let the other one stay out. Then the next day we would exchange them like that, and it really came through for me. So Mr. and Mrs. Ngugi, thank you so much, and may God bless you. So another thing that really shocked us, there are so many scenarios, but another one that really shocked us is, you see, these girls in the slum, they were used to sleeping on the floor. So on the floor, you just roll and roll from one corner to another. You can't fall down because you're on the floor. So when you put them on bed like this, they would forget they are in bed, and they would start rolling, and they would fall. So at night, the three of us, me, my daughter, and our house manager, would work on duties, night shift duties. So would say, between this time and this one, you are the one checking on the girls. If you find any fallen on the floor, you pick them up, you put them back in bed, and you tuck their beddings. So we had put those night shift. Until now, they would fall. You put them back, within few minutes they have fallen. You put them, they are fallen, because they are not used to sleeping on a bed. They know how to roll on the floor. So we decided, if the length of the bed is like this, then to give them room not to keep falling more frequently, we shall let them sleep across the bed like this. Because you see, the bed is 6 feet like this, so that length is bigger when they roll like this. So they will be rolling within the length of the bed, so that they don't fall more frequent, and it really helped. So we started walking the journey with the girls. One biggest blessing that God has given me is my daughter. The biggest support system God has given me in my mission of rescuing these girls is my daughter. Because my daughter Abigail embraced these girls, loved them, even when they are urinating on her bed, making her room stink. She's gracefully accepting that. She's loving them. She's actually calling them my baby sister. When people outside there are saying, no, you are interrupting. Remember, your daughter is a teenager. This thing of bringing extra kids, so it's going to affect her, and she doesn't know how to live with many kids in the house. My daughter was calm. You know, God, I say that God put his spirit in my daughter, because God wanted these girls to be rescued. Because imagine a scenario where my daughter would throw tantrums, or where my daughter would be uncomfortable. I wouldn't be able maybe to bring on board these girls, because I would be like, now, is it my daughter or the girls? Who do I deal with? You know. But God just put a spirit of calmness in my daughter, a spirit of love in my daughter Abigail, such that now, even when I would see how much she's loving them, it would give me the peace of mind to concentrate on taking care of the girls. And so I say the biggest support system God has given me is my daughter. Would take the girls for counseling, and more especially the big one. And the counseling session really helped at that initial time, because now this girl has gone through something that has been done by somebody of authority in her life. It is her daddy who has introduced her into the world of sex, but in the wrong way. We know that sex is for the married when the time is right. But now the daddy has introduced this tiny innocent girl into the world of sex in all ways wrong, you know. So this girl, now through the counseling session, she starts feeling that it is bad. What my daddy was doing is bad. You know how daddy was touching me, kissing me, you know, penetrating me. That was wrong. So now she's coming to a realization, so my own daddy was doing this to me, and it is wrong. So she started becoming like bitter. Sometimes she would be bitter, sometimes she would be withdrawn. So sometimes I would take her to the counseling session, and I remember like a day I took her for the counseling session, and then on that day the counselor asked her, how do you feel about what daddy did? And she said, bad, I feel bad. And she started crying uncontrollably, crying, until the counselor asked, what do you want us to do to daddy? If daddy was here, what would you want us to do to him? And then she was like, I want us to beat him until he feels the pain that I felt. So the counselor said, no problem. So when you take kids for counseling, it's not a room like for adult counseling. So the kids counseling rooms have got toys, teddy bears, things to play with. You know, it's just a child's environment. So there was this big teddy bear. So the counselor brought that big teddy bear, and then the strokes of to cane that teddy bear. And then now the counselor told the girl, assume now this teddy bear is daddy, and I'm going to give you these canes. So I want you to cane daddy. I want you to beat him until you feel that he has felt pain. Okay? She said yes, very excited. And she was given one cane after the other. One would break, she gets another one. She beats. Then it breaks, she broke like seven canes, beating up that teddy bear in her mind, assuming it's daddy she's beating. So she beat until she removed her jacket. She continued beating. And you know, she's beating not quiet. She's beating, talking to daddy. And she's telling her, why did you do that to me? That is bad manners. Why did you do that to me? Why? And she would beat until now she got to a point she did that. And then the counselor asked, so do you think now daddy has felt enough pain? She said, yes, daddy now has felt enough pain like I felt. Then now they sat down and they started talking, and that session was very relieving for her, and it was very important for her. And then now the session that followed after that was now a session of introducing her to forgiveness. Daddy did this, it's wrong. Please, God has taught us how to forgive. God expects us to forgive. Would you want to forgive daddy? And when she was asked, would you like to forgive daddy, she cried. She did not answer yes or no, but she cried. So the counselor just took her bit by bit, told her why she needs to forgive. It didn't really like come out so clearly, but at least there was some element of forgiveness that was introduced to her, which I'm still following up, but very sensitively and bit by bit, doing it when her mind is a bit ready to accept it. So the counseling sessions have been very, very helpful. And the counselor told me one thing that I'm seeing for sure: counseling sessions for our girl will never be like a conclusive one. It is one that you observe a certain behavior, you take her for the counseling. That one is dealt with, she stays for some time. You notice a withdrawal, because at times she withdraws. You realize she's very withdrawn. She's not as excited as others. She's not as happy. Her mind seems to like to have too much in her mind. So when you notice something like that, you take her for another session, and that one is dealt with. Like I remember there's a time now after those sessions, I had to take her back, because in the house everybody is complaining. Mommy, when you're not at home, Priscilla, I didn't want to mention her name, she's called Doctor. Doctor is really stubborn. Doctor is really doesn't listen to anybody. And when I'm in the house, the doctor is the best. She's the best. She's at her best. She's good. I would even feel like they are not being fair on her. So I took her back for counseling, and I told the counselor, there's something I'm not understanding about this girl. When I'm in the house, she's at her best. But when I leave home, everybody complains that, oh, she does this, or you cannot tell her to do this, or what, or everybody's complaining. And so I was like, counselor, is that, how do I handle that? Because the counselor had told me, anytime you notice a behavior with this girl that you're not able to understand, come and ask me. I will explain it to you. So the counselor told me, this girl, you're dealing with a child that we call parentified child. A parentified child is a child whose psychology has switched to parenthood very early in their age, such that they are not able to enjoy their childhood. In their childhood, they are trying to combine it with being parents. because of challenges and things that they are facing at that particular time. It forces them to pick up parental duties, and this girl had picked up those parental duties for years, and very effectively. For years she's not going to school, so every time she wakes up in the morning, she would be the one to go and borrow the neighbor some water to wash the sister's face. She would go when they are too hungry, she would carry the sisters, go borrow food from somebody. You know, she was a real mother to these kids, you know. So in her mind, she knows subconsciously she's the one who is supposed to be in charge, because she is a parent in quotes. So when you are in the house, subconsciously, her mind tells her the senior mother is in the house, and so she submits to the senior mom's authority. And she becomes manageable, she becomes very good. But the minute the senior mom is out, unconsciously and very subconsciously, the mother in her raises up and comes up here and tells her, now you are the mother in the house, now you are the one in charge, now you are the one in authority, you are the one to be to tell others what to do, what not to do, how to do things, not people telling you how to do it, because you are the mother in the house. And that really helped me so much, because now I would now be able to sit down with the rest of the family and explain what I was explained by the counselor, and tell them, when you see this girl behaving like this, please know it is because of this and this and that. And we were able to transition through that period. Right now, that has, I see like this still a small element where the mother in her would want to mother especially the small one, because even in school I had to go and request for rules to be put for her not to be seen in the small girl's class, because in her, the mother in her always wanted to, how is my baby sister, has he eaten, has she taken what, you know, she just wanted to be the mother to this girl even in the school. So I had to cut that and tell her, your sister is okay by herself in her class, the teachers are there to take care of her, you be in your class with your teachers. It was not easy, we are still fighting, but not better, but I can say we are promising we shall soon get there. There's a day at school when the small sister had gone, I think, to the bathroom or in the field to pray, and it was in the evening, they are supposed to come back home. So the big one is looking for her, she can't find her, and she started crying uncontrollably in school, and she was saying, now my sister has gotten lost, now what? And she was blaming herself, now where was I when my sister was getting lost, only for her sister to be found playing somewhere in the field, and they came back home. So there's that element of that parentification still there, but trying to help her out of it. She's an amazing girl, an amazing girl. I remember when she came the very first time, she used to feel like she's in this kind of a weird world where she's not given duties and responsibilities and house chores to do, because at that those initial days is now when she would she was so parentified such that you tell her to go and play out, she plays for 2 minutes and comes back in the house and asks for some work to do. Mommy, can I wash clothes? Mommy, can I wash dishes? Mommy, can I sweep the house? And you're like, no, I told you go out and play. We have somebody to do the dishes, we have somebody to do the clothes, we have somebody to sweep. Your work is to play. She would play for a few minutes and then feel guilty and then come back. Mommy, what is there any work for me to do? Because she felt like her value is attached to when she's able to do things. But right now, at least I'm happy. Any day I see her coming home with a dirty uniform, I'm happy. I can feel she played when she was in school. She was able to be the child, you know, her childhood that was robbed away is coming back. So I'm happy. It has been quite a journey. It has been quite a journey, because now I received kids that have never been into school. And my biggest concern was on the big one. How are you 8 years and you've never seen the look of a classroom? You don't know how a classroom looks like, yet you are 8 years. So thank God when they came into my house, it was during that time of pandemic. So there was in our country, schools were closed because we were not able to do online schooling at where I stay. So literally schools were like closed. Kids are just staying at home. So I took advantage of that long school break. I talked to one of my friend who is an ECD teacher, early childhood education teacher. And I told her, I have got these kids who have never been to school. Please, are you able to help me? Even if you charge me something small, but you come and just teach them how to hold the pen, teach them how to do 1 + 1, teach them the basics, so that when the school break ends, they will be able to go to school and be able to catch up with others. That lady is called Teacher Lydia. Teacher Lydia, may God bless her. May God bless her so much. Teacher Lydia came in with a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of grace. She embraced these girls. She was able to come to my house every day to homeschool them. Every day teach them the basics, lead the chats with them, sing the songs with them, dance with them, be with them like they're in school setup. And that one really helped them very much. So when the school break ended, I took them to school now like in any other normal child. This small one is okay. She was in her right years to start the nursery, the kindergarten classes. That one, she was okay in her right time. The second one was only a little bit late, because she would have supposed to start in pre-primary 2, but now she started in pre-primary 1, and then I made her even repeat for the second time because she had not been captured. So she did pre-primary 1 2 years because she was actually not getting anything. She skipped the kindergarten classes, the nursery classes, and straight to pre-primary 1 class. So it was a new environment for her before she adopted and all that. So I made her repeat for the second year, which has been so helpful. For the big one is the one where the biggest challenge is. Because she, like, currently as we are talking, she's supposed to be in grade 4, but she is in grade 1. When I took her to the school the first time, according to her years, we thought she would be in grade 2. I took her to grade 2, but on the third day, the teacher called me and told me, please, this girl is training. She's getting nothing in class. The others are way ahead of her. And instead of us training her, let's switch her from grade 2 to grade 1. So we took her to grade 1. She did grade 1 one school term. Again, she was training, because remember, this is a girl, we are starting from teaching her the alphabets. So again, I had to pull her out from grade 1 to pre-primary 2. So she did pre-primary 2 a whole year. Now she went to grade 1 this year, and we are almost closing school because we are in the month of November. In like a week or two, the schools will be closed. So when they go back to school, the big one will be in grade 2, the second one will be in pre-primary 2, and the small one will be in pre-primary 1. So they are following each other like that: pre-primary 1, pre-primary 2, and grade 1, like that. And I am so happy to see the progress in these girls. Let me tell you, lack of education is bad, and poverty is bad, because this girl, the second one, she came here stammering. Like, she would talk and stammer, like seriously stammer, like, stammering. She was I felt I have taken a girl who is a stammerer, and she would really even be very afraid to talk, because when she talks, she's stammering. But we started walking the journey with her, encouraging her to talk, encouraging her to express herself. When she says something, you're like, oh, good, please say that again, repeat again. And we built her self-confidence bit by bit. And then in our family, in the evening, we do evening family prayers in roles, in turns. So we started even allocating her a day to pray, and she would pray 2 words and we'll be okay with that, and all of us would say amen, and then would clap for her and tell her, you've really prayed so well, so tomorrow you'll pray a better prayer. Like that today, that girl doesn't stammer. That girl doesn't stammer. And I'm like, wow, I even thought I picked a stammerer. That girl doesn't stammer. And it has made me feel convinced that all what people need is love. Loving them, loving these kids. Because I think the greatest thing that I can be asked, what I've given these kids, is just love. It's not the food they eat. It is not the clothes they wear. It's not the school they go to. It is not the tangible things that people can put their hands on. It is just the love. Loving them, accepting them, embracing them, being there for them. That is what these girls really needed in their lives. And the greatest of all, God putting that love in my daughter to love these girls, has really meant so much for us. God has been our provider. We eat, they have clothes, they go to school, and God has been providing in a big way. I can't thank my daughter Abigail enough. At times I think about her and I feel like crying, because I say Abigail, my daughter, should be the heroine in the whole of this story. Because if she threw tantrums, if she was not comfortable with the girls being in the house, if she was selfish not to have the girls even call me mommy, if she was selfish not to share anything with these girls, I would not have been in a position to pick up these girls and put them in my house. But because of her big heart, her kindness, her beautiful golden heart that loved these girls, accepted them, you know. And I'll tell you scenarios where my daughter Abigail have really shocked me. One is when now these girls were a little bit new, still in the year 2020, because my daughter sat for her Kenya certificate of primary education exam in the year 2020. So during that time when she was going to prepare for her exam, things were really thick and tough. And I was feeling like, wow, I have really put a big load on myself. I'm feeling overwhelmed. You know, I'm feeling like it is too much. And so I thought of a solution. And I said, because me and my daughter, we talk a lot. I said, I'm going to talk to my daughter, and then I'm going to let her know that we have an option. And the option is, we take these 3 girls, take them to the village to be living with the grandmother, because life in the village is easier and cheaper. We take them to school in the village. We shall be sending the grandmother the little money for food, the little money for school. At least it's manageable there. And then we can come back to our normal life, our usual life, just me and my daughter, and continue with life. And then once in a while, we can be going to the village to say hi to the girls. Or once in a while, we can have the girls come from the village and come and visit us, and then go back to the village. And I said, ooh, what a fantastic solution. And I was, yeah, now I can't wait to share this with my daughter. Shock on me. So one morning, I'm preparing her to go to school, and I tell her, Abigail, I have a solution to all these things that are overwhelming us. I said, and then she's like, what's the solution? I told her, you know, we are going to take the girls to the grandmother's place in the village, and I explained to her how the program will be running. You know, at that point in my mind, I was triple sure my daughter would be like, yeah, yes, mommy, yes, and she would clap for me and tell me, yes, you are a super mommy, you thought of a super idea. Yes, now it's gonna be back to our life, me and mommy and everything as usual. And I thought of how her being a teenager would get excited and super excited about it. But shock on me, when I told her that, she was like, Mom, let me pray about it. And I was like, You know, when somebody says, let me pray about it, you cannot tell them, no, don't pray about it. So I just played calm and I told her, okay, when you pray, you come and tell me. So she goes to school. And then in the evening, she's less concerned about that issue. The following day, she's less concerned about. And like 3 days passed without her showing any interest on the issue that I discussed with her. Until now, I came back to her and I was like, Abigail, I talked to you. I talked to you about something. You have not said anything. And then, you know, she goes like, Mom, you know what I will tell you? You will not like it. And I was like, what is it? And then she was like, you know what, Mom? When you said you're taking my baby sisters to the village, God asked me to ask you something. Me, when life has been so hard on you, have you ever taken me to the grandmother's place to live there and school there? I told her, no. How could I have taken you to the grandmother's place to live there and school there? She told me, yeah. So God told me to tell you, the same way you have never let me go to the grandmother's place to live there, you should sacrifice for my baby sisters and let them stay here with us. You know, I looked at my daughter like, are you aware of what you're saying? Are you aware that you're denying your mommy some freedom she was looking for, to be able to feel like the burden is lighter on her? And I was like, Abigail. And then she told me, you see, Mommy, I told you you'll not be happy with what I told you. I told her, no, it's not that I'm not happy. Let's discuss this further. And as we kept discussing it with her, she maintained her stand. Mommy, let my baby sister stay with us. God will provide. God will give us food. God will give you money to take us to school. And I was like, okay, then they're not going. Let them stay. And they stayed. That scenario, it came in as a big encouragement to me. It came in as a big clarification to me that I'm not overwhelming my daughter. I'm not overburdening my daughter. It is actually her choice, her joy, and her happiness to have my daughter, to have the baby sisters in the house. Because at some point I would say like, stay like this, and then I would like, oh, could it be maybe, you know, you never know. Maybe these people are right. Maybe these people are right. They are saying that I'm overwhelming my daughter. I'm taking privileges away from my daughter. I'm being insensitive of my daughter, and she is a teenager. Could they be right? Can I take these girls away so that my daughter can live the life a teenager needs to live? So when my daughter reacted in that way, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. This is super. That is such a confirmation. And I was grateful to God. And that passed. Another one more scenario I want to share here. That may God remember what my daughter has done to embrace these kids and bless her for me. There's a time, you see now, these girls, they came in so tiny. So even the people who are donating clothes, most of the clothes were coming tiny sizes. But after now, they ate well. They are in a peaceful environment. They are relaxed. They are feeling loved. They are peaceful. These girls like became big as if a balloon has been blown up. You know, they just grew up at once. You know, they just became big at once. And so now they have outgrown their clothes. They're outgrowing their shoes. They're outgrowing everything. And so, especially the big one, I think the big one really was so tormented because she became bigger than anybody else. She grew faster than anybody else. So she outgrew her things more than anybody else, you know. And you know, for her being the bigger one, you see, like her, when she outgrows her clothes, she can leave them for the small ones. But her, she doesn't have anybody to leave the clothes for, to inherit from, you know. So now this girl has outgrown all her shoes. And then me, I'm overwhelmed. I'm doing this. And then one day we come from church. Then that time my daughter was at home for holiday. Then she says, Mommy, please give us some permission. We want to go out, just the two of us. Me, and the doctor, the big girl. I told them, no, it's okay, you go, but don't stay, because it's evening, don't take long. So they said, Mommy, we won't take long. I asked them, do you want to go with the other baby sisters? They said, no, we are going just the two of us. I told them, okay, you go. So they went. After some time, they are back, excited, happy. This big girl is happy. And then she comes and hugs me. And then she tells me, Mommy, guess what? Surprise. Abigail has bought me shoes. I have new shoes. And I'm like, what? So when Abigail is on school holiday, instead of taking the car for car wash at the place we usually take, I tell her to clean the car from home. The money I would have paid there, I give her as her pocket money. So she has been keeping this money. And then now this Sunday, she says she wants to go out with the girl. And she comes back having bought her a second-hand shoe. An old second-hand shoe, which was being sold at 400 Kenya shillings. That is like $4. But they bargained it from 400 shillings to 300 Kenya shillings. 300 Kenya shillings is like $3. So they bargained it down to $3 because it is a second-hand shoe. It's a second-hand shoe. It's not like brand new from the shop. It's a market where they sell second-hand shoe, but it was looking in good shape. And yeah, the girl now has shoes and she's excited. And I called my daughter and I'm like, Abigail, where did you get the money to buy the shoes from? And then she's like, Mommy, I see you are busy with too many things in your mind. You don't even remember my sister that only has one pair of shoe. So I thought with my car wash money, I can use that pocket money to buy my sister an extra pair of shoes to make the burden lighter on you. And I was like, wow. She wowed me. And I'm like, oh. So then my daughter doesn't feel it as a burden to have these girls. She's happy to have them. So the people who are saying that my daughter could not be enjoying her life like she would, then they are the ones who are wrong. Because even when I go to pick her from school to come for holiday, if I've gone to pick her alone without the girls, the first thing she asks is, Mommy, where are my sisters? Mommy, why didn't you bring my sisters with you? So that is how God confirmed that these girls were meant to stay here with us, and now the girls are here with us. And because we can't finish this whole story here, please allow me, this is part 3 that has just ended. One more part 4, and I think we are done with this series of how we rescued the girls into our home. So in the next series, I will finalize with talking about the court case journey, what was making me feel depressed and how I went into depression and how bad it was, the things that happened to me when I was in depression. And then we are going to talk about now where we are right now with the girls. I love you guys. Thank you for accepting to be part of our family. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Every time I read your comments, I feel encouraged and I feel happy. I wish you can come and find me scrolling through your comments, reading them, and smiling because they are so encouraging. So comment there and I would love to hear from you. Like our video so that it can be recommended for many to watch it. And please show us some love by pressing the subscribe button. And even if you go an extra mile and press the notification bell, it will give you a privilege of every time we post a new video, you'll be among the first people to be notified that there is a new video for you to watch. Love you guys, and let's do the final one, the final series of how we rescued the girls into our home. So we are going to do part 4 together, and that's gonna be the final series of rescuing the girls into our home. We move now from there, and we are doing this courtesy of the new members who are joining our family, the new members who never watched the first video that was done in the year 2020. We are trying to bring you up to speed so that you can know who we are and what kind of a family we are, and just know that we love you and we welcome you into our family. Love you guys, and subscribe. See you on part 4. Bye.